Hey guys, it's me, 50, and welcome to a new episode of 50's Thoughts, the show where I talk about my thoughts and opinions on things that matter to me. Today we will be looking at two pieces of news that are related to one another about the game Arkham Knight. So I hope you guys will enjoy the video. If you do, make sure to click that like button, share it with your friends, and add it to your favorites. Maybe. If you want to. Okay, just give me a sympathy like at least. Alright, so let's start with the episode. So as of February 25th, 2015, Rocksteady Games, the guys that created Arkham Asylum and Arkham City, kind of released the new game rating on Arkham Knight. And I'm not sure if it was the ESRB or if Rocksteady did it, so don't quote me on that. But we do know that the game is now rated M, which a lot of people, especially if you're like me, think, oh, that means a lot of blood and gore, that means more swearing, you know, it's just, they're trying to fit that social norm that most other games have been including. Games like Call of Duty, games like Battlefield, and other games that probably didn't need the M-rated rating, and still would have been good, right? But Rocksteady had a good thing to say about that, and I'm going to read a quote from them. Off of an IGN article. I will link it in the description of the video. And it says that... Hold on, I gotta scroll here. Sorry about that. From our point of view, we never wrote it or made it with a rating in mind. We never did that with the previous two games either. We just felt like this is the story that we really wanted to tell. And in terms of creating the story with such strong characters, sometimes they lead you to interesting directions. They lead you because you know who they are and the world that you've kind of built around them. We're not including huge amounts of blood or swearing. It's mainly just the story that they're trying to tell being very dark, is what I'm getting from the article and what they're trying to tell me. You know, and they're pointing out that this is gonna really lower their market, right? They're going to lose money because of this M-rated game, but they still think that dedicated Arkham fans will still stick with the series, and I believe that, right? Dedicated Arkham fans will stay with the Arkham games because Arkham games are fun and they're great. But younger kids who kind of pick up the Arkham games, you know, it's more appropriate for them, right, than an M-rated game, right? It's rated teen for a reason. And sure, you know, you may be saying, well, only teenagers should be playing that, not like 5-year-olds and 10-year-olds. I get that, right? They're not supposed to. But they can still watch you play the game, and they can still watch Batman do these amazing things, right? And I feel like, you know, from the trailers that we're seeing of Arkham Knight and things like that, we'll still be able to get that feeling. But it's just that, you know, they shouldn't be listening to the story because I believe that there's going to be some sort of language drop, right, that made this rated M. You know, if you look at the rating at the beginning of the trailer, I forget what it was called, the Gotham is Mine trailer, it says what the game is rated for. And I'm just going to pull that up really quick because I do not remember what it is rated. And I'm kind of mixing the two here, right? So it's blood, language, suggestive themes, and violence, right? I think more the M rating is for that language, and I don't really think it's for that blood. It's not... Like, the blood in the games have always been, oh, use your detective mode, track the blood patterns throughout the city or the asylum, and then get to the next objective. And I feel like Blood's gonna have that same type of it's gonna have that same type of I want to say mechanism, but that sounds kind of wrong to say it that way. But I'll go with mechanism, right? Language, you know, sure, they said shit, damn, and things like that in the previous games, but I feel like they're probably gonna add the F-bomb during pretty intense moments. I don't think the thugs are going to be dropping it every, like, 5 seconds, you know, it's the fucking bat, you know, I don't think they're going to do that, you know, anytime you get into an engagement, but I think when it comes to the hardcore story elements of the game, it may be dropped, you know, maybe it's a scene between the Arkham Knight and the Batman, maybe it's a scene where Dick Grayson's involved. I hope Dick Grayson's in there. Maybe there's just like a FU or something like that Dick Grayson gives to Batman for this whole new kind of mess that he's kind of created. Since we didn't see Nightwing in the previous games, except for in challenge maps, so it is a possibility that Nightwing comes back and he's like, "What the hell did you do to the city?" I don't think he's going to be Arkham Knight. I would be pretty shocked if he would be. My guess is Jason Todd still, but you never know. They could have actually created a new character. Suggested themes, I think that's more with like Harley Quinn's outfit a little bit. That's more Poison Ivy's outfit. And, just kind of like the female roles in the game are always kind of more suggestive and things like that. And then there's the violence, right? The violence is never really that bad in the Arkham games. People are getting beat up and things like that. And if you look throughout the trailer, you see that there's new like beating physics in it, right? Where bruises are more visible and things like that. And I feel like that's kind of a cool thing. But I don't think it's going to be that big of a difference to make it that M rating. So, again, I think it's probably the word choice that makes Arkham Knight rated M. Not so much the blood. The only reason that I could see it being blood as the major factor is if they have a Jason Todd, some sort of mission in the campaign, or even the Jason Todd DLC, since, for those who don't know, Jason Todd was the second Robin, and Jason Todd died by the hands of the Joker, which they've referenced to in the Arkham universe before. I think it was a challenge map with Robin, and he's like, "Wait a second, haven't I killed you already?" In my worst Joker voice ever. But, he says that, and, it does show that Jason Todd is alive in this universe. And so then he becomes the Red Hood, taking Joker's old alias and then trying to clean up crime, but through very dark versions of violence. He's like the Punisher almost, but more of an anti-hero, since he goes up against Batman and Nightwing and the Bat family, because he feels betrayed by the Bat family a little bit. But he also goes up against the villains, and he believes that in order to take down crime, you have to control it, and that's what he tries to do. So with that being said, that's another reason why Blood could be hyped up, is just some of the challenge maps with him in it. There may be bloody finishers and stuff like that, or like not over the top bloody, but maybe like a little bit more graphic than your normal beatdown that Batman has. Or it could just be certain scenes, right, where it kind of looks a little gruesome. So now I kind of want to talk about the trailer itself, and in order to do that, I'm going to cut the gameplay that I've been having here, and I'm going to kind of do a walk down of the trailer, and you'll see some gameplay stuff as I'm kind of describing things that are kind of going on in the trailer, like in the pause sections. But besides that, you will be seeing mostly trailer for this part. So this is the part where we kind of watch the trailer, and I kind of tell you, what I'm seeing, and kind of the pop-ups that are on the screen a little bit, because this isn't the normal trailer version. This is a Batman Arkham videos video where they go over the Gotham is Mine trailer, and they break it down step by step, and kind of show off what everything is based off of, where everything was from the comics, and what things are being introduced into the trailer that we didn't see before. Which, by the way, if you haven't gone to Batman Arkham videos or BatmanArkham.com, go ahead, go there, subscribe to them. They will give you the best Arkham news possible. I'm just the messenger of the news. They're the ones who actually gave it. So I am going to start the video now, and I'm just going to let it play, and you kind of see this M rating that we talked about before, and I'm just going to talk about what's on the screen and things like that. So you see that she has that machine gun, and it's hard to notice in this scene, but you see that the henchmen are based off of Harley Quinn's revenge, which really isn't a shock to me because, Joker's dead. So it would be weird for her to have the Joker thugs, but it would be a nice tribute. You kind of see Two-Face, and I believe that's Penguin, And you kind of see the new consoles come up to date here. You see the Riddler, Scarecrow, and the Arkham Knight. And then the screen goes to black. You see Firefly fly out of the fire department. So Firefly is back. He was in Arkham Origins, but now he's going to be in Arkham Knight. So it's going to be weird to see how Rocksteady takes him, even though they have the same look, right? You kind of see that they have the same look from Arkham Origins to Arkham Knight. So I guess Arkham Origins is part of canon, even though no one wants to admit that. You see Ivy for the first time here, and they're zooming in on these codes where if you go to the website, you can kind of unlock stuff that way. But you see Ivy has a new look, right? And they're going to point this out in a little bit. They're just going to keep on going on about those codes. But you see Ivy has a new look. She's paler. She's not as green. It looks like the rest of her is still pretty much the same. Besides, maybe some of the hair pieces, she looks a lot paler and more human than she did in Arkham Asylum. You see the Scarecrow's new design again. You figure out who the developers of the game are and who created it. And you kind of see more of the city for, what it is. And you got to remember, this isn't Arkham City. This is Gotham that we're playing in now. So Gotham looks a lot different than Arkham City. And I like the look of Gotham so far. It looks really cool. I'm not sure about all the TV monitors all over the place, but it still looks cool to me. You kind of see Scarecrow's henchmen here, and it's kind of hard to tell that they're Scarecrow's henchmen. Like, throughout this trailer, I would have not noticed whose henchmen these were, unless if you looked at them. You see Harley Quinn's henchmen there, and you can tell that these are Two-Face's henchmen because of the Hell's Gate Street Gang kind of look that they've had. And there's Two-Face once again. I feel like Two-Face is the only one that has the same look. You kind of see Penguin's hideout here, and most likely his new henchman. And you also notice too, right here, which they're going to point out, he's lost a lot of hair, Penguin. And to me, he looks a little bigger. But I can't be totally correct about that. There's the GCPD building, which we all know is where the bat signal is. You see Aaron Cash on the right. You see Commissioner Gordon in the middle. And then the girl on the left, we don't really know. They're saying it's Renee Montoya, but I'm not really sure about it. This is, again, where we showed the bruising effects of the new game and stuff like that. But, again, I don't think that's going to be a rated M feature. If you look at this scene, there was another trailer that kind of showed off the same scene. But from Batman's point of view, you see Batman there looking dark and gritty, staring at the Scarecrow. And you kind of see him kind of do his, Batman thing, right? Where he swoops down and then kind of raises himself and then probably takes out a couple bad guys. So you see Oracle's clock tower in the back, and you see the fire station. And for those who don't know, Oracle is Batgirl, just crippled. You see kind of a poison ivy plant over there. And, so you have to know that she's probably taken over her own little district of Gotham now. I'm not sure if they're going to play it like Arkham City, where they have their own districts and stuff, but I think that that's going to happen in this. It would be kind of weird for them not to, with it being Arkham. You kind of see these new takedowns and stuff. I know I'm a little bit behind the gameplay now, but you kind of see, what we saw before with the Batmobile, him jumping into it, the Batmobile looking very sick, and really cool, actually. And in that shot, it kind of looks like the Arkham Asylum Batmobile, even though we know that it turns into this frickin' tank mode, which looks really cool. Again, some more comic stuff that I never really knew about. Again, another one right there about Japanese Batman from Batman Incorporated. And there's the Batmobile assist takedown. I feel like this is going to be really combat heavy, and all the new versions of combat seem like it's going to be really cool. So here you can kind of see Wayne Manor in the back. You see Arkham Asylum off a little bit towards it. You see kind of an amusement park. You kind of see that billboard there for the Vicky Vale show, which Vicky Vale was the love interest of Batman in the first Batman film, if you remember. Again, Riddler's new look. Nothing too much new, but you can kind of see that Riddler's gone through some changes. But in Harley too. Man, Harley's hot. But I don't know if Arkham Asylum was that thing in the back. It maybe should have been Arkham City that they put there. I'm not sure. And then again, Never Do Meth Once, Green Arrow, which is just actually Scarecrow, apparently. But I think that's pretty much the whole trailer. Again, more codes and stuff. And you see the Phoenix, like, Batman logo. So we don't really get too much story here in the Gotham is Mine trailer. Or at least what I can tell. You kind of get more of, okay, who's all going to be in this game? Who's the huge cast that's going to be a part of it? Who are the bosses that we need to take down? And, you know, how much fun we actually are going to have. Again, I do not know if Gotham City is divided up into districts now. It kind of seems like it from, you know, the previous trailers and everything. You know, they're saying that Gotham is theirs, right? So it seems like crime's getting a little out of control. And if we remember anything from like the Easter eggs in Arkham City and Arkham Asylum, this seems to be like it's going to be the last Arkham game. And there was like a AMA on Reddit where the Batman Arkham team over at Rocksteady were kind of hinting towards different things. You know, people were saying like, oh, we're going to be on a beach in the next couple of months thinking about our next project. Does this mean another superhero game in the Arkham universe? Maybe. I hope so. A lot of people are pulling out the Aquaman card because of them saying that they're going to be sitting on a beach and thinking about it, even though it's February. So who knows? Maybe we'll get a better Aquaman game. Probably not. But it would be really cool to see Rocksteady move on to, you know, something that's pretty similar to Batman, right? Green Arrow is a great idea, right? Because Green Arrow and Batman are so similar. With Arrow, you know, taking concepts from, you know, the Batman comics and things like that. And I feel like Arrow would be a safe bet for them to go down. I would like to see a better Superman game since we haven't had too many good Superman games, and I'd like to see Rocksteady work on the Justice League characters and kind of bring them together for a Justice League game. Will we actually get that? I don't know. What will happen in the end of Arkham Knight? Again, I don't have the game in my hands. I can't tell you. But I can tell you it's going to be a really fun experience. And hopefully you guys saw that from this trailer, that it's going to be a bunch of fun to play. And sure, you know, the Batmobile is kind of sketchy, right? You know, you don't know if the Batmobile is going to be OP. You don't know if, you know, you're going to rely on the Batmobile so much compared to just like zipping around the city like you used to in Arkham Asylum and Arkham City. But, you know, I feel like the Batmobile is going to be a good addition, right? It's going to be fun to play around with, and you know, it's one of every kid's dreams, right? Drive around in the Batmobile, have fun, right? That's always been a dream for people, you know, to just drive around in the Batmobile and have fun in it. And I feel like that's going to be a huge thing for a lot of people. For me, it's going to be the story. I love Batman Arkham stories. Okay, I have to admit, I did like Arkham Origins story, even though I did not think it was as good as Arkham Asylum and Arkham City. Let's get that clear, people. But I still think that this game is going to be better than Arkham Origins, and I feel like it could be better than Arkham Asylum and Arkham City, depending on where the story goes. If we see the death of Batman here, I'm going to be pretty upset. But I do think it would be pretty, what's the word for it? Sorry, I'm just losing my words today. A pretty sketchy and risky move, but if they pull it off right, it could be really cool. And, you know, maybe Batman Beyond eventually? I don't know. But, yeah, I want to know what you guys think, actually. You know, where do you think Arkham or I almost said Arkham Origins. Where do you think Arkham Knight's gonna go? Right? Who's Arkham Knight in your guys' mind? Is he Jason Todd? Is he a brand new character? Do you think he's really the Joker? What do you guys think about the new cast that was just kind of announced, with Penguin being in there, with Poison Ivy being in there, with Harley being in there, with the Scarecrow being in there? And who do you think will get guest appearances from that we haven't heard of yet? That Rocksteady just hasn't released yet. Do you think Superman will get involved? And maybe that will be the tie-in to the next, Rocksteady game? I just really want to know what you guys think, and I'd love to bounce ideas off of you guys. So leave your ideas and stuff in the comments. I love to hear what you guys have to say on these topics and stuff. So just leave it down in the comments, and I'll go through them, and we'll strike up a conversation. If we need to, we'll make another video on it. I get the feeling that with Arkham Knight, we will have more trailers and stuff, and more stuff to see. And who knows, maybe there will be another Arkham Knight thoughts video. So thank you guys for watching. As I said in the beginning, make sure you leave a like if you liked it, a sympathy like if you didn't, a favorite if you want to, and possibly share it with your friends. That would help out the channel a lot. So thank you guys for watching, and as always, stay frosty, guys.